the center of the gaming universe.
Today on X-Play, we've got the world broadcast premiere of Tom Clancy's End War, the first new Clancy franchise since the highly acclaimed Splinter Cell. And Sonic's back in our review of Sega Superstars Tennis for the Xbox 360. We'll tell you whether or not this all-star event is worth attending. Then, our Will Work for Games series takes you behind the scenes to see what it's like to be a producer on The Sims 3. All that and more, it's game time!
Welcome to X-Play, TV's favorite turn-based strategy show. I'm Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler, coming to you on Friday, March 21st. Way to go, Bruins. On today's show, we've got the world broadcast premiere of Tom Clancy's End War. It's Tom Clancy, it's World War III, and it looks great.
Plus, we are double fisting reviews. Sega Superstars Tennis is more than just a highly seeded amateur, and we'll tell you why. And prepare yourselves for the most quotable game ever. House of the Dead 2 and 3 return. But first, today's headlines and our gaming update.
Rockstar Games has officially released a patch for their recently released Xbox 360 title, Bully Scholarship Edition. The patch will resolve any crash, audio, or frame rate issues that have been plaguing owners of the game since its release less than 3 weeks ago. Gamers with an active Xbox Live account will be prompted to download the update immediately after loading the game. We'll have our review of the game next week. Jack Thompson has been sanctioned by the Florida Supreme Court, effectively limiting his ability to submit any further filings. After abusing the court's processes, a decision was reached to reject Thompson's filings unless they are signed by a member of the Florida bar other than himself. We should note that this is a separate issue from Thompson's disbarment trial, which is currently underway. I know who I'm rooting for. Next, we have a handful of impressive Grand Theft Auto 4 screenshots straight from Rockstar Games. We can all look forward to being arrested, squeezing up a few deadly Desert Eagle rounds, testing the limits of smoke effects, and pointing our guns at majestic sunsets. Rockstar also announced the fourth and final GTA 4 trailer, and it will go live at the game's official website next Thursday, March 27th, but you can also see it here. All right, that's all for today's gaming update. Be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. But now, let's go over to Morgan, who's got today's first review.
Good job, Adam. Now, for the first time in a long time, Sega's mascot, Sonic, is in a hit game, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. He's sticking to sports again in his latest title, Sega Superstars Tennis. From what we can tell, maybe Sonic should forget the whole ring-collecting business. Old friends, it's probably been a while since you saw the Sega gang. There's Ooh La La, I, Beat, and the rest. And here they're together at last, rackets in hand in Sega Superstars Tennis. Yeah! Whether or not you're a huge fan of classic Sega games, you'll be able to appreciate this one. Sure, it's a nice trip down memory lane, but memories aside, the game is fun and ultra-playable.
Game Gillian.
It's hard to go wrong with the Virtua Tennis engine on your side, and the familiar faces and scenes are just icing on the cake. So even if you can't remember most of the 90s, you can still enjoy a good match. Every character has his own strengths on the court, and everyone has a special attack move. They're cool, but usually no match against the computer, which has the unfortunate tendency to cheat.
I expected better.
And while the tennis is fantastic, the minigames are not. There are a variety of random missions that you have to complete in order to unlock new characters, and they can be extremely frustrating. Super game! Hey, not cool. You're the one playing an imaginary flute here. But we're willing to put up with a little cheating and some senseless minigames when the game is such a pleasure. And if you're ooh la la, it's a real pleasure. Sega Superstars Tennis serves 4 monkey balls out of 5.
That is how it's done.
I just thought about Space Channel 5 on the Wii. Now you think about it, Sega. The Tom Clancy brand has a stealth game, a third-person squad-based game, and a tactical first-person shooter. All of them putting you in the boots of a soldier on the front lines. Tom Clancy's End War is set to change it all up. In this RTS, you'll be thrown into World War III and have to take charge of entire armies. And now we'll finally see how it will all play out. Here's the world premiere.
Hold on. Something has happened.
Massive explosion somewhere in the middle. We're not sure what's going on at this time.
Confirmation that a nuclear device has been detonated in Saudi
Over
Arabia.
10 million lives have been lost. This historical day will bring the world into a the joint U.S. and European missile shield project going
And a
live.
step closer to a new era of peace.
Japan gets a lot right. I mean, seriously, who doesn't love Asimov? Yet despite those breakthroughs, sometimes they drop the ball big time. For instance, understanding how football works. Take a look at iShield 21 in this installment of Made in Japan. The Japanese have inflicted atrocities on mankind for centuries now. Pearl Harbor springs to mind, as does my own addiction to Ninja Warrior. Seriously, I have a real problem. But worse than both of those things combined is the desecration of the hallowed American pastime of football. iShield 21 Field no Saikyu Senshi Tachi is here for the Wii. Kinda. You have to get it through an importer because you're not just gonna find this bad boy at Best Buy. But if you're able to hunt down a copy, you'll be rewarded with a rare look at how the Japanese view American sports. Based on a popular manga series, iShield 21 pits you against a variety of rival high school football teams in straight-up matches or a story mode. Because who doesn't want an extensive plot line interrupting the sports action at random intervals? The game is worth noting, if only for its charming weirdness. It's like the developer said, hey, let's make a game about American football. Do you know anything about American football? Nah, but I could probably fake it. And that's how you get things like tranny linebackers, lizard-tongued opponents, and this guy. Yeah! The game bears only the slightest resemblance to football as we know it. Each play will break off for a mini-game midway through. Feel like a pass? It's a targeting mini-game. Want to run the ball? Play the dodging opponents mini-game. Obviously, this sports game isn't for everyone. Heck, it's probably not even for sports fans. But if you're interested in tossing around the old pigskin and you're just so tired of playing with things like rules and refs and strategy, this could be the game for you. It may feature an oblong spheroid. It may have 2 teams of 11 men squaring off against each other. It may call itself American football, but iShield 21 was definitely made in Japan. Yeah!
I don't even know what to say about that game. All right, X-Play is loved by kids of every race, creed, and color all around the globe, except Latvia. One of our younger fans sent us a homemade video, and we have to share it. If you subscribe to Whitney Houston's theory that children are our future, he's so afraid.
Hey everyone! Wouldn't it be great if Assassin's Creed were real? I'd love to push some of those beggars around. I'll keep my hard-earned allowance, thank you very much. And what are people carrying in all those baskets anyway? Do you think it's kittens? The hair's so fuzzy. I'd also like to be able to really stab one of those lazy Templars. All they do is stand around. One time, my mom made me stab one of her special friends after he passed out. She said the courts would never convict a minor. Boy, was she wrong. But if I was Altair, I would have just fought off all the police that showed up and taken to the rooftops and disappeared into the night.
Coming up on X-Play, there goes the neighborhood. Zombies move in as we review House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return for the Wii. Then, find out what it takes to be a video game producer on The Sims 3 and Will Work for Games. Plus, our virtual audience is here for a little Q&A. All this and more. Stay tuned.
Are you on the bubble? Well, don't worry, you will be. Indie Games begins in exactly 60 seconds.
Rated M for mature. They infected you. You feel the power. There is a cure, but it's the last thing you'll need. Unleash the power. Become the weapon. Dark Sector, in stores March 26th.
Hey everybody, welcome to Indie Games, a 60-second dollop of online amusement. Now when you think of collision physics, it's usually racing or fighting games that come to mind, but Danny Miller went in the entirely opposite direction when he created the incredibly addictive Boom Shine. Now in this game, little wandering spheres expand when they come in contact with each other. And your input, I'll admit, it's pretty minimal. You click once at the start of each level, and you hope that the resulting chain reaction will rack up enough points. And the new AG piano score, telling you it sounds exactly like the music that they play at the salon where I get my mani-pedi. So you know I'm a huge fan. You will be too. Check out g4tv.com/indiegames for links to this and other great stuff. Until next time, I'm Kevin Pereira. Seriously, what do you want for nothing?
Boy.
Welcome back to X-Play. With the real estate market looking grim, I can't imagine trying to sell something called the House of the Dead. But put it on the Wii, you can move anything. Sega's just released a compilation of the second and third games, and here's our 2 cents. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return is a compilation of the 2 most popular installments of Sega's zombie blasting series.
I've been waiting for you, friends.
Goldmen! They're actually the PC versions of the games, not the original arcade versions. But most players won't notice the difference, and yes, the horrible voice acting is intact.
We're meeting G over there.
House of the Dead 2 features the standard arcade mode and an item-driven original mode. There's not really anything new here, and 1998 is a lot uglier than you remember it being. But shooting zombies in the head is really its own reward.
What's wrong with this city?
The unintentional comedy present in just about every spoken line in the game helps too.
How could anyone do this? Dogs of the AMS. Time they made a move. James, go and prevent the confusion in the city.
House of the Dead 3 holds up a little better visually, but suffers here and there from frame rate drops and seems to have slightly worse lighting effects than the Xbox One version.
Terrible.
3 does have the one brand new feature in the compilation, Extreme Mode. This solo-only mode adds a defense move that can fend off close enemies or block an attack. That white flash is the defense move. Right there. The most notable thing about House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return is how well the Wiimote works as a light gun, with or without the Wii Zapper attachment. The shooting is extremely accurate, even during hectic or fast-paced sequences. The system almost seems custom-made for light gun game compilations.
It's like they're inviting me in.
While both House of the Dead games are solid arcade fun, it's hard to ignore the fact that they're fairly simplistic and over in about 20 minutes each.
Have I stepped outside the bounds of human morality?
Both are fairly replayable, and fans will appreciate the accuracy of the shooting on the Wii. But nostalgia is important here, especially with House of the Dead 2. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return blast 3 badly acted sinister chuckles out of 5.
I don't want to die. My God.
Contrary to popular belief, magical gnomes don't really make video games. People do. In this edition of Will Work for Games, we meet a producer at EA who's hard at work on The Sims 3. Watch, listen, learn. If the title producer only conjures images of a sweating Zero Mostel, you probably meant to tune in to Turner Classic. But this is X-Play, and on today's Will Work for Games, we'll be talking with Lindsay Pearson, an associate producer of video games at EA.
So producers are sort of the cheerleaders or gatekeepers or the protectors of vision, I like to think of us as. We're the people in charge of making the game come together the way the designers want to and the way that the players are going to want to play it.
Okay, well, that seems kind of vague. Let's see what an AP does on a day-to-day basis.
In the mornings, on The Sims 3, we have these daily meetings where you kind of get little teams together, talk about what they're working on, what they're doing, any problems that have come up.
But it's not just meetings and emails. An associate producer also contributes to games in development.
We get to sit in these meetings and get the feedback from the designers and the implementers, and we sort of get to problem solve the space in between. Or we can look at the game as it's coming together and give feedback on, oh, it'd be really cool if this could happen. You know, what would it take for us to add this little addition?
Lindsay got her job the old-fashioned way, by accidentally falling into it while she was studying something else at college.
I actually wanted to be in movies. I was really excited about modeling and animation for movies. In my senior year of college, my friends took me to the GDC.
If you've got what it takes to tough out the long hours and late-night meetings, though, you can expect some pretty rewarding experiences.
One of the coolest days I had, actually, was before I even got to work. And as I was standing in line to pay for my food, I was listening to the radio and I heard this song that I recognized, but I didn't know where from. It turned out it was a song we'd put in The Sims 2 University, but it was in Simlish, so I didn't recognize it. I only knew the Simlish version of the song. But it was so exciting to be like, oh my gosh, our game has this song that everybody else is hearing.
So if you have a penchant for facilitating the creation of both new games and made-up languages, you too can be a video game associate producer.
All right, coming up, we talk with our virtual audience about important social issues and zombies. X-Play will be back in just a minute.
Stick around for Duty Free TV. This show also available as a G4 podcast.
Kid.
Welcome back to X-Play. Since Adam and I are deathly afraid of germs, it's best to use technology to interact with the outside world, hence the virtual audience. Joining us tonight is Ace from California. What's your question, Ace?
Hey guys, how can EA help improve their sports games from being so repetitive?
I don't think EA really wants to help their sports games from being less repetitive because
people buy it.
You guys are buying them and they can just change one feature and ship them out and everyone gets all excited. So why would they?
Now, obviously, Peter Moore, the guy who took over from Microsoft, he was from Microsoft, took over at EA Sports. He says they're going to really try to change it up. I don't know, better AI, you can update the roster online during the year. Those are ideas, but I don't know if we'll see them.
Those would be fantastic ideas, but really it's the same sport, so...
Yeah, exactly. There's limitations within the sport itself as well. That's another issue. All right. Next up is Joey, who wants to know about the Blu-ray wars effect on the console wars. So go ahead, Joey.
Hey, since Blu-ray won the war, do you think this will sway Xbox gamers to go to the PlayStation side?
He does have eyes. I was a little worried there at the beginning.
I like how he said the PlayStation side, like the dark side. I don't know if people are going to like sell their 360 to get a PlayStation 3.
I'm going to guess that they're not going to.
Right.
But I mean, you are saying that the PlayStation 3 is selling extremely well. It's also the Xbox 360 in the past couple months because of the Blu-ray player. Everybody's thinking, hey, if I'm going to get a DVD player, why don't I get the PlayStation 3? It can also play games. It's really easily updatable online, which is a great feature and really useful. So
I see people getting it in addition to their Xbox, but I don't see them like just abandoning their Xbox. It's worth noting that even our floor director here bought a PlayStation 3 just for the Bluray, so like, it is an impact out there.
All right, up next is Matt from Pennsylvania. Take it away, Matt.
I was wondering, what would you do if zombies came and attacked G4?
Well, this kind of has an obvious answer.
Yeah, you just shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only way. So, make sure that you shoot them in the head. Good aim, practice. Yeah. Okay, finally, we have Michael from Connecticut. What can we do for you, Michael?
I was wondering if you guys think that Animal Crossing would ever come to the Wii.
I would just like to preface this by saying I love Animal Crossing.
She does.
It's kind of a problem, and it's a little embarrassing because it's the girliest game that ever existed.
Except I play it too, and I really get into it, so I'm even more emasculated because I'm wrong gender. I think, it is going to come to the Wii. When and how, I think, is the bigger issue.
Right, and I would like it to come now, and I'm a little disappointed that they haven't had it out already. I mean, it's been such a huge franchise for them. Everybody loves Animal Crossing. I find it shocking that there's no Animal Crossing and really no official word on Animal Crossing.
Right. Now, the one thing that we do know that's official is that when it does come out, it will not be the MMO we all thought it would be now that there's now online. I think it's because there's enough young children. They don't want that free access to some of the more unsavory people that are out there in the world.
Playing Animal Crossing. Thanks to everyone who took part in this week's virtual audience. Thanks for your questions.
And now I've been court ordered to go door to door and warn you that it's time for an X-Play replay. This week, we review Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword for the DS. The innovative control scheme doesn't work as well as we like, nabbing it 3 Ryus out of 5.
Rainbow Six Vegas 2 is a lot of fun on multiplayer, though the single player lacks polish. It grabbed 4 flashbangs. Pro Evolution Soccer 2008 has a lot of pluses, but buggy online play drags it down to a 3 out of 5.
House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return for the Wii looks like hell, but the dialogue is awesomely bad. This light gun game grabbed 3 headshots, and with the help of the Virtua Tennis engine, Sega Superstars Tennis managed to take 4 sets out of 5.
We will be back next week with a new X-Play every night at 8, and we've got a great lineup. On Monday's show, we review Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Now, it might cause some anger if you're a super fan.
And Kristen Holt was going to come by with a Halo 3 cheat that will help you get that perfect 1,000 gamer score. And last week, you saw the world premiere demo of Viking Battle for Asgard here at X-Play. And next week, we'll lay Thor's hammer down in our review of this Norse epic.
Plus, we're going to review Dark Sector, the gory sci-fi game from D3 that features plenty of dismemberments and Russian mutants. Plus, we'll have a brand new Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer next week that you don't want to miss.
Ninja Warrior is going to start now. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.